Hey everybody, welcome back to the channel. And I'm not Batman. Anyway, hold it though. Sorry about that. I'll keep this thing from being shaky. Hey, there's free Dramamine in the lobby in case it gets too shaky. I will tell you, spoilers ahead, there'll probably be a little bit of my arm, a little bit of my head. But what I'm about to do is, I got this old thing, this old radio. Imagine that. I got this old radio about to do a little surgery on with the contents of this box. In this box right here. This has got $40 worth of parts. Yummy. I can remember that kind of box of parts was $7. Anyhow, I will say something. People complain about the shaky and all this stuff. Well, sorry about that. I really am. You know, give me your address. I'll send you some Dramamine. You know, or I'll send you a card or some tissues. I don't know. But I will tell you, what I'm about to do is very involved. Changing all these capacitors out and figuring out the little pitfalls that I'm going to have to do. And sometimes I'm more worried about getting that right than a perfect shot. But again, this is me repair a radio. And this is what a lot of folks like to see, is other people working on radios. I'm not a cinematographer. I'm trying to give the best shots that I possibly can. But I can't do them all. I don't have multiple cameras and all this expensive little switching crap where I can change 8 cameras and all this. I don't feel like messing with that. It takes a lot of time to set that up and a lot of money, which I don't have none of that. Anyway, I'm going to try to give you the best place to view this. I may put the camera up on the bench to the side, maybe we'll see how that works. But I'm ready to get working on this. I'm ready to put those capacitors in there and get all these capacitors in here and get all this stuff, put a line cord on it. That'll be about as far as I can go. I'm hoping to get that done today. The tube won't be in until Saturday, which is a few days off from now. Unfortunately, I'm going to be on out of town, so I won't get to this at least Sunday. Anyway, enough of me running my mouth. Let me get your camera set up to see how it looks. This may be a kind of a static thing. I may not move this camera at all. I'm going to put it on the bench, try to get an angle to where you guys can see it. Maybe put a little bit of light on it and try to get it to where y'all can see what I'm doing without me getting my big head in the way and y'all seeing my balding head and all this other stuff that y'all complain. Some people complain about. I want to make a great stable video so nobody gets sick. And I kind of know it's a what was that movie, Blair Witch Project, where they're doing this stuff all the time. I get it, okay, I get it. But there's just sometimes, like the shaky cam on the last video, yes, that was called what I call gorilla cam. We were looking at a schematic, we were looking at this. It's not really meant to schematic. Yeah, I guess I slow down, but I get hyper when I do this stuff, and I just kind of get focused on what I'm doing and not what I'm doing. So I apologize. I'm trying to do better, but I just get so caught up in what I'm doing because I love doing this stuff. Anyway, I've run these jaw muscles till they're getting tired. So let me get this next shot set up so we can start working on this radio and what you guys are actually here to see and not me running my big mouth. All right, bring you back in a few minutes. Alright, I've got you set up on the bench. Now I'm just looking at the videography here. I'm going to turn it this way, that way you guys can see it from this angle. Okay, now I can see it from this angle. So I really need to put a little bit of light in here. And I realized something the other day, and I just remembered it just now, but this is what I normally use for lighting. It's a little LED light. It's got several LEDs in it, as you can see. And that's all great and wonderful and just makes you have this warm feeling inside and all this kind of stuff. But I need more light. You know, not only for my eyes, which are not like they used to be at all. There was one time not that long ago that I could look at a resistor and tell you if it was cracked. I can't look at a resistor now and you can see that it's got leads on it. And see how this looks. How does that look? It's kind of a happy medium, okay guys? I gotta have this light source down to reflect to my eyes, but I also have to have it down to where it reflects to you guys. And what I'm about to do, and I'm going to zoom you in a little bit. I'm going to try to do this without moving this radio. If I move that radio, in this frame, it's going to go out. You're going to lose something. So I can either tighten it up a little bit or I can widen it a little bit. And I'm going to widen it a little bit, okay? That way you get the full effect. So here we go. Let me get our operating tools. Soldering iron set up. Turn it on. We don't have to have a desoldering machine. Gotta get all this stuff set up. So I'll bring you back when I get stuff set up. All right. Got all the parts laid out. Move that out of the way so you can see them. There's all my parts right there. Coffee cup. Water to neutralize some of the coffee. Let's see. Each turn around there is there my desoldering. My desoldering gun is on standby waiting for me. Get y'all back in frame here, tightened up the curve bar, so here we go. Where do we start? Well, I'll start somewhere. So I think probably the first thing we need to do is figure out what we're going to do with the power supply. I think that's a good place to start. So move this capacitor back out of the way. That filter cap right there. Right there. That's why I like restuffing them, because I don't have to rearrange everything. But since I want to restuff it, I got to pull these leads off anyway. We'll need 3 capacitors on that. I need a 4 contact terminal strip to go here, and I'll show you how I'm going to do that. I think I will take all these leads off, and I think I should have enough room to move them where I need to. And I'll show you how I do that. So I'm going to pause you a minute, let me go find terminal strip, and we'll start on the power supply. Be right back. Alright, found what I was looking for. You're going to use these terminal strips here. Another box of stuff I bought at a Hamfest, just all kinds of old TV parts and stuff. Anyway, it's got 4 strips on it, one of them being to use as a ground, but it's enough for me to hang the capacitors off of. So, what I'm going to do next, take one of these dudes. Nice thing about these are, see how they're still tin, they're not corroded. Man, I had some the other day I found, I forgot what I used them on. These things were all green and they're messy looking. I like to never got that stuff. I had to use a lot of flux to clean it off with. Anyway, I'm going to take I'm going to take the FR301, Captain Kirk's phaser, and I'm going to pull each one of these leads off, and I'm going to attach it off of the electrolytic here, and I'm going to attach it like to here, to these guys. And let's see if I can zoom you in a little bit. Let me put my finger on what I'm doing. Good Lord, hang on. That's on me now. Anyway, try not to move this thing too much. That's the target right there. It is in there. It's the center of it right there. Let me get y'all in a better frame. Wish I had one of them cameras that you could remote control. God, you don't want to move, and when it does move, it takes off. Maybe I should have stopped the camera. There we go. Now, yep, it's shaky cam. Alright. There is a lead going across right here, and it looks like filament. That really needs to go underneath this stuff, but I will try to move it here in just a minute. So let's go ahead. Try not to get in y'all's way. Good Lord. Let's see. Is that in the way? Man, I guess it's not. I'm going to try to pull these leads off. So, what I'm going to do is I'm going to cut this one right. I think I'm going to cut it right there. And that was attached right there to this red wire. So let's go ahead and clean that off. Zoom you out right here. Zoom you out a little more. Trying to clean that off right there. This is pin 7 of the rectifier tube, whatever it wound up being. Remember, guys, I have to put my arms in certain positions to be able to twist these tools, to be able to get some of this stuff. So if I do get in your way, I apologize. Trying to be careful and not damage too much. Poor old radio is like a red-headed stepchild. You don't want to leave a bunch of bits and pieces in these old radios. There, the ends are frayed right there. So I've got to find my right here. Heat that up a little bit. I can get them little pieces off of it. There we go. So this is one little wire. This is the main B plus, comes right out of the rectifier tube. This is going over to the filter capacitor. Just trying to make this connection a little bit better than it was just tacked on before. Yeah, it's a solid connection now. Now I can get to where I need to get to. I'm going to take off the triangle. So let me get my schematic. Just here, and I'm not going to bother showing the schematic to you guys. I don't want to bore you guys. everything in order here. The triangle is going to be C7C. It's 100 microfarad, which we know that ain't right. C7C. It's not 100 microfarad, I can tell you that right now. I would believe that would be a typo. $100 at 25. Called filament bypass. Whatever. So that would be the 100. So I'm looking for my filter caps. Make sure I get the right one. Let's see. This is the 33 here. That's not it. '82 right here. This is probably it right here. This is the 10. Now you know what, I forgot which one I was going to use. Ain't that something? Yeah, I hate it when I forget which one I was going to use for that. This is an 82 microfarads right here. That's two of those. 30 right here. Yeah, it don't matter. We're going to do it anyway. Remember when I worked on old decal radio? I'm sorry, decal? No, DeWalt. That thing was a radio from hell. It had a lot of issues, a lot of corrosion. Never did get it quite working right. But that thing was about as squirrely as a tree full of squirrels. Nice looking radio, but boy, it had some major issues. Major issues. Alright. Got the filament string cap out. Be careful of that, it'd burn the whole radio down. Alright, so I got that off. That's the triangle. That's supposed to be the 100 microfarad. This one here is going to be the 80. So now I got to, I'm going to pull this green wire off, get it out of my way. It is in my way. Get more of that solder off. Got to get some of this stuff out of the way so I can do other things. I'm sure you guys are still in the frame here. I know you guys want to watch this mess, and some of you do, some of you don't. Would you rather me just change the components like Carlson does, and then come back and we'll do the next thing? How about we do just a few of them, and you'll kind of get the idea of what it's like. We'll do the filter caps, and then we'll just do one other cap, and we'll leave it at that for that, and then I'll finish them without the camera being on. And then when I get the tube in, then we can put the tube in here and then go from there. How about that? Let's do that. That way this ain't a 3-hour long freaking video. So let's do that. How about that? I like that idea. So we're going to do the filter cap, so I can show you how I'm going to do it. No, I would love to stuff that cap. It just adds another level of complexity, and that piece of wire broke off. Now that's out of the way. Now I can get to this section right here, which is what I needed to do. And I probably need to take a picture before I get any further out. Move my phone down to 26%. I should have done this to begin with. Always take pictures, guys. Don't do as I do, do as I say. Alright, I'm going to take all this crap out. Try not to break nothing in the process. Sometimes it's just impossible to get to some of this stuff. And usually when you're undoing desoldering some of this stuff, I mean, some of this, when you're desoldering some of this stuff, you just have to take your time. Just digging around in this mess. And it's possible I may have to replace some wiring in this radio. That red wire there is pretty ratty. The way they've got that, I can just eliminate that. It goes to this test point right here and go straight to what I need it to do. Here's a 680 ohm resistor, and I didn't get all that solder out. You gotta be careful when you get that big old tools in here. You can mess up something without even knowing it. See if I can get my cutters. You need a really sharp pair of cutters to do this. I use these cutters not really to cut with, but they're really small jaws. These are platos. But they got really tight jaws. That's as far as they open. Anyway, I use that to go in here and grab the open end of the resistor lead or whatever. You got to use whatever you got. And a lot of times that's what I do. I just try to get my hands on it and turn it just a little bit. Sometimes it works, sometimes it don't. Sometimes you got to get a pick or a small screwdriver or something. It's kind of like war. You just have to use what you got. You just got to use whatever you got that'll work. But still, it's not to bring out the old soldering iron here. Get up underneath it and get that thinking lead to move. This capacitor is just full of, it's just got a lot of, it's just really, there we go. It's just really dense. It's got a lot of stuff on it. There we go. Now I got to figure out which one that is. Y'all still in frame? Good. Quit walking around. Try not to get my head in the way. Actually, that one there, Doesn't even have nothing connected to it. I think that's something. I thought I was doing something. Shoot. This stuff will lead you on a wild goose chase. You just have to do what you have to do. Try not to tear up too much. Alright, got one loose. Alright, got one loose. I'm going to test this resistor. Once I get it loose, I may wind up having to replace it. It's a 680 ohm resistor. Now I've got a 1 meg next, which is part of the AGC circuit. We'll double check that one as soon as we can get it out. Part of me still wanting to pull this whole can out, restuff it. Fighting the urge, boys and girls. Fighting the urge. Gonna get this 1 meg out and we'll have that part done. Alright, got it out. Alright. Alright. I think what I'm going to do now, clip those leads, clean it up a little bit, give me some room in here. Not going to use them anymore. Uh-oh. Got a casualty, ladies and gentlemen. That's the other thing. Important safety message. Do not use these for heavy duty cutting. This is for slim component lead cutting only. It says maximum 0.040 inch 1 millimeter diameter copper wire, not electrolytic capacitor leads. Yeah, I broke them. I don't know if I got any more. Alright, capacitor's cleaned out. Let's take the ohmmeter now, check the components. Do y'all need to see the ohmmeter? Hope not. I ain't gonna do it. We'll check the 1 meg first. Let's see, y'all still in frame? Yep, good. Let's see, brown, black, green. That's 1 meg, right? I think this 1 meg is completely open. Let's go to 20 meg scale. Let's see what it says. Showing 1.55 meg. That's, I would say that's out of tolerance. We'll drop down to 2K and check this, this 680 ohm now. Let's see what it has to say. 680 is measuring 835, so we're going to replace 2 resistors. Lord have mercy. May as well do it now. So let me get a 680 and a 1 meg. Monty, get out of there, you little turd. Yep. Hoping I wouldn't have to do that. I hate it that I broke my cutters. I knew better than that. I got a whole box of them at the office. I don't think I have any more here. I'm trying to remember if I got what I did with them, if I do have them. Anyway, this is the 1 meg. I'm just going to kind of leave it flopping around for the moment. I could do this another way. Like some of these people just, you know, instead of just unsoldering everything and all this, is just cut them and loop them. The old, you know, if I was repairing this set for a customer and they were like sitting there waiting on me, not doing a total restoration as we're attempting to do here. Could just cut the resistor out, make a half loop in the lead, you know. In other words, if that was a resistor lead right there, just make a loop in the lead like that right there. Put the new component in, and just solder it back in. Don't let me forget this 1 meg and that 680. Just getting these out of the way. There. The 2 new resistors are right here. Where y'all at? There you are. That's the 2 new resistors. You got to put them back in. Alright, so the filter capacitor is clean, and let me zoom you in a little bit. There it is right there. Y'all can see it in this blender now. There's all the cleaned it up. Got all this junk out of the way. So if you can see it, what I'm going to do is I'm going to note the trick. I'm going to bend this tab straight, which is what I've done, and I'm going to solder it. I'm going to attach it as soon as I figure out which direction I want to do this. I'm going to attach it here to this lead, this leg right here. I'm going to attach, solder it to this right here. I could do it a couple of different ways. I could actually solder it to one of these legs right here, and kind of in this angle right here, that if you can see it, and then I'll just run a wire from here to here, but then all my ground connections to the capacitor will still be there. I might do that. I wish now I wouldn't have cut all them leads off this capacitor. See if we can make this work. Yeah, I think we can. Let's see if that'll take solder. Better not grab that with my bare finger. Tin this a little bit to help the process out a little. Yes, I know it's not mechanically sound, but honestly, if I do a good job soldering here and not solder my fingers, I think it'll be fine. where I wish I had 3 arms. Alright, hang on a second here. Ingesting way too much solder smoke. Having a little difficulty there. Not working out like I wanted it to. We'll have to turn the radio up on the end a little bit. I'm gonna zoom y'all out a little bit. There we go. Try that again. At 660 degrees on the soldering iron. So, where did my strip go? Here we go. Just the wrong angle. Somebody has the wrong angle here. Sorry, you're out of frame a minute. And I put it on backwards. Put it on the wrong stupid side. Knew something wasn't right. Meant to do it like that. I wonder why it wasn't lining up. Put it on upside down and backwards and everything else. Not a super good connection. If I could just get a little more solder on it and the stupid thing would be still. A little bit more coordination going on here, which, you know, white boys can't jump as this movie goes. Now let's do the old test. There. Got how I had y'all. That good? Alright, let's get you back in frame. I know y'all. Come on, camera. Quit being a jerk. There, it is in place. That was fun. Alright, so it ought to last for a few years. I don't think it's going anywhere if it does, but I am going to run a little, attach a little short lead there. Just to kind of help it out in case we lose connection. Just a little insurance. Oh yeah, that had a big old blob of solder on it. Don't know where that came from. This is the hardest part, guys. I promise. It'll take me a minute to get this soldered in. Trying to get a good solder connection on this. At least something in there that's good and soldered. There we go. That's a good bond right there. Alright. Looks good. Now this is just a piece of bus wire right there. And I'm just going to solder this without unsoldering the other. That also helps hold this lead in where I can solder the rest of this thing. Get a little bit more solder on the back of it. There we go. That's what I'm looking for. Got it. I know it's a big contrived mess, but I got it. I got it how I wanted it. Yeah, still in frame. That was hard to do, guys, and I didn't have. I could either do this or I could play Steven Spielberg. Okay, trying to keep it still. But now my surface is prepped for the filter capacitors. So matter of fact, this junction right here, I didn't think about it, but I could have used this junction right here. You can see it. I could have used that to hook one of the filters on. Because this right here is where this lead came from. That one right there, which is I think that's where that 100 microfarad goes. So what I would need to do oh Lord, wish I'd have thought about that. Tell you what, let's do what we can reach. Let's go ahead and do the main filter. Let's go ahead and do the main filter. I gotta reach across, y'all. Don't panic. Gotta get my X-Acto. I'm gonna widen you out just a little bit. There you go. I gotta tin this wire right here. Old wire is older than I am, probably. That's going to go down, and it's going to go right there. This is the first filter cap that we're going to put in here. Alright, that's the first filter cap. That was the half moon. That's going to be an 80 microfarad capacitor. So here's the 82 microfarad right here. So it's going to be one of these. So I'll tell you what, in the interest of time, this was the hardest part, is getting the strip in here. So I'm going to put this capacitor in and let you guys watch, and we'll get that one in, and the next two is going to be the same. And I'm going to have to do some figuring to remember what I thought was on that 100. It might be a 10, I don't remember. But anyway, we'll put this one in real quick. Just nothing more than doing that right there. Folding that over, soldering the plus side. Alright. Wish I hadn't damaged that. My cutters. I wish I hadn't broken. And that went flying in there. Okay, covered that. Right there. Alright, the other capacitor, I can go ahead and clip the lead on it, but I'm not going to solder it because I got a couple more that's got to go in there. I'll go ahead and fasten it down. So that one's in there. So now I just got to do, now I got to go in and do the rest. And I may have made a boo-boo. No, I got to change some resistors in there and do a couple other things. And so let me do that. Let me get the power supply right, make sure it's good, and then we'll move on to changing a couple of these caps around here, and that'll be it until the tube comes in, I think. So I'll bring you back. Right, of a quick note here, while I was cleaning up the power supply and doing a little rewiring, this terminal strip that we put in right here, let's see, right there. I haven't quite framed, do I? This camera has got this, it's annoying, I ain't figured out how to turn it off yet, but it's got a thing there where you move it, it kind of gets rid of some of the, I forgot what it's called, if you move it, you know, like anti-shake or whatever, it's a little too effective. Anyway, right here is the terminal strip that we just installed for the power supply filter. There was another terminal strip right here that this 820 ohm resistor was tied to, and it branched off to this tube here and then various other places. And I didn't like how there was another terminal strip that this 820 was tied to right here. And I found out that the 820 was tied to this terminal strip right here. And it had a screw right there. I was able to just take that out. Now that's cleaned up that whole area, that radio right there. It made a big difference in there. So now I've got room in this terminal strip now to do things like I want to. So that's what I'm going to do next. So I'm carrying on.